Hello, is this the end for Nnamdi Kanu and the end for the agitation for Biafra? Please, before I will suggest that you watch this video with an open mind. As a Nigerian, please watch this video with an open mind, and please, if you can, watch to the end. Today, Justice Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment on 3 different count charges. He was found guilty of terrorism, and the judge, in his words, said Nnamdi Kanu, in his call for sit at home and agitation for Biafra, portrayed himself as a tyrant, and that those calls for sit at home is more or less, classified now as terrorism. Now, the journey for Nnamdi Kanu and his agitation for Biafra, probably has come to an end, because if no appeal is done, nothing is done, he's going to serve life sentence in prison. Now, let's look at what led to this conviction, his arrest, detention, and conviction in the first place. Now, the reason why Nnamdi Kanu started the agitation for Biafra in the first place is the same reason why is now this conviction is this same reason. It appears in Nigerian society that we have seen today. It appears some people get different treatment, probably because of where you come from. But I will not blame the federal government. Before we even come to why Nnamdi Kanu, for me, I think he doesn't even deserve this life imprisonment. Now, whether we like it or not, the Southeast is marginalized. And this has happened over the years in Nigerian political space. The Southeast people have been marginalized, because the highest anybody from Southeast has held any important office is the office of the Vice President, followed by the Senate President from 1999 to 2007. Aside that, there's just been SGF and minister, because the Constitution says the minister must be appointed from that region. Only the Southeast have 5 states. But let's look at what Nnamdi Kanu has done over the years. Come to think of it, I have never supported his style of agitation, calling for violence and all of that. But if you look at the violence that Nnamdi Kanu, that his propaganda through the Biafra radio has, propounded or talked about within the last few years. If you juxtapose that to the number of unaliving that's happened in Nigeria coming from the Boko Haram, please, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of equity and justice, who deserves amnesty? And like I said in one of my previous videos, you see, Nnamdi Kanu's problem can be drawn from the high level of psychophancy that happens even in the Southeast. Because the first instance, it was the 5 governors of the Southeast that proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization during the Buhari time, all because they wanted to please Buhari. And this is at the time that even when Fulani headsmen were number 4 in the terrorism index, yet you proscribe IPOB as a terrorist organization. So it is even the Southeast governors that proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization before Buhari took it up. And this is the same country where people who are aggrieved with what is happening in the system have different ways of voicing out their grievances. For example, Igboho came out and talked about marginalization of the Yorubas, and then was agitating for a separation of the Southwest from Nigeria. As we speak, is a free man. Even Sowore at different times, in trying to express his displeasure about what is happening in the Nigerian state, has said the only solution to all of this is revolution. And we all know what revolution is. Although he has been arrested at different times, he has used his medium to propagate all of this, but he has been granted bail, and as we speak, he's working. And though he has been canvassing for Nnamdi Kanu's release. So many people have at one time or the other used propaganda slur against the Nigerian state. And as we speak, they are working freely. Fulani headsmen are working freely. So, is Nnamdi Kanu's claim, are they even genuine? We'll talk about that in a short while. But if you look at what Nnamdi Kanu has been saying over the years and the current realities, you will know definitely Nnamdi Kanu doesn't deserve what we are seeing now. In this same country, Nigeria, Boko Haram, who meted out all manner of atrocities, hundreds, thousands of people killed through bombing and all of that. And then Buhari came and said they are repentant Boko Haram, repentant terrorists. And some of them were incorporated into the Nigerian army. Some of them entered into, some of them leaked precious information, intelligence information back to these people, and a lot of havoc were wreaked. And then if you can grant people, Boko Haram, ISWAP members, who claim to be repentant, these are people who have carried out full-scale terror on Nigerian state. You can't imagine the number of people who were unalive during Jonathan. Bombing, is it the Nyanya bombing? I happened to be in Maiduguri when Boko Haram started its operations from 2009 up until 2013. And we saw the magnitude of terror that was unleashed by Boko Haram. And yet, hundreds of these Boko Haram fighters were granted amnesty. They went back into society, so were given jobs, so were recruited into the Nigerian army. For God's sake, who deserves amnesty? And why was Nnamdi Kanu agitating for Biafra in the first place? Were his claims genuine? Of course they were genuine. Because the Southeast is totally marginalized. Like Showore said, it's like there's an unwritten constitution or a written memo, a secret memo that the Igbos will not attain certain level of political greatness in Nigeria. And I totally agree, because only the Southeast have 5 states. In terms of appointments and the rest of them, the Igbos don't get as much as what other northerners get. I'm not trying to promote ethnic or sectional interest here, but I'm just saying in the interest of equity and justice. Because imagine how Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, all the way from Kenya, extradited. Now the federal government went through all of this process for somebody whose offense is the fact that they should be Biafra, and then he has used different platforms to agitate for all of this. And then we'll have actual people, who were involved in terror, actual terror. A lot of Nigerians have been maimed, means of livelihood destroyed. People have been unalive, women and children. And these people, a lot of them are walking the streets free. Bandits do videos every day on social media displaying their stupendous wealth from the proceeds of crime, and nothing happens to them in this same country called Nigeria. And these are the same reasons that gave rise to Nnamdi Kanu's agitation in the first place, and those reasons have not been addressed. And here we are, this man is now in jail. This is really sad. This is really sad. This same country, Nigeria, Boko Haram members or whoever bombed a train, people died. People were maimed from that. People, there were jailbreaks up till now, one of them in Abuja. The Ansaru member that said they gave him 12 years imprisonment. This is a man that have killed people. And then you say because someone is agitating, is saying sit at home. Because of that, they're giving him life imprisonment. This sit at home doesn't even affect the federal government. If it's for anything, it affects even the people from the Southeast. And yet, you have put this man life imprisonment. So, well, he might not even appeal. Even if he does appeal, because whatever it is about Nnamdi Kanu is purely political. So he might not even win. So I wouldn't even advise that he even appeals this judgment, because he probably won't get anything out of it. So the federal government, I think Tinubu needs to do something about this. Because call him a tyrant. What happened to other people? Oh my God. It's so unfortunate that if Nigeria continues in this trajectory, I pity the end of Nigeria very soon. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Well, let's see what happens in the coming days. And let's see what the Southeast will do and what political measures will be taken to avert or to get a solution to all of these problems. God bless Nigeria.